welcome to a live stream. Live stream coming from Nong Hoi, which is just on the outside of Chiang Mai City in northern Thailand. And we are at the MEEKIN, that's MEEKIN cafe here, where I have my favourite breakfast. And, sorry, I got a bit distracted there. It sounded like it was a motorbike crash. I heard the crunch of metal, but it seems okay. Fantastic breakfast. I'm afraid I already ate it before I came on live, so a shame. But but I still have my coffee here and some water. There we go. So we're just in this little cafe here in the back street here. It's a very local area. It's opposite a little mini Big C supermarket, and it's a hive of activity. It's getting a little bit busy. I've been here for about 20 minutes, half hour already, and people are starting to wake up and go out and do their thing. We've had some rain here. Surprise, surprise. Overnight it was quite a storm hit about 1 a.m. and came through. There was a bit of a severe weather warning, and it got quite a bit of rain came down, so it's a little bit wet around, but otherwise I see patches of blue sky through the clouds. It does say there's going to be showers on and off all day, but it really depends on where you are in the city to how much rain you actually get. Hey, Hobby Time, how are you, buddy? Welcome. We'll turn the camera around shortly and have a view away from my face, and we can have a look out there. But this is the cafe here if you want to have a quick look where we are. Quite a few steps up here to get into the cafe, so they didn't actually have water come through, but with 3 feet of water out there on the road, obviously no customers. So they're back up and running again, so that's good. A lot of businesses here aren't, and still closed. It's also still fairly, sorry about that, early in the morning. It's 8 a.m. So what I'll do is I'll just position the camera and we'll just turn it around, and you can have a look at my view outside. There it is there. That's about it. As you can see, a bit of blue in the sky, a little bit overcast. Definitely cooler. It's definitely cooler now. The weather is certainly getting towards that tourist season where it's turning into the winter, but it's not like winter like I know it from Australia. It's winter from like it might be like just 2 degrees, 3 degrees cooler at night. It's still as high as 24, 25 degrees during the night. That's Celsius. And it gets up to 30, 32 during the day, although today they're only predicting 29, 30 degrees. But it's still good enough to go jumping in the pool. Still do that. But maybe what I should do is, if I had another phone here that was connected to the internet, I could maybe do a full weather report on all the locations throughout Thailand while I'm doing the live stream. I have to buy just a cheap, what they call it, a burner phone, and use the Wi-Fi that most places have here, and do something like that. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. Not much going on since the floods. The clean-up's still going on. There's still quite a mess in the back streets that the garbage collectors haven't really got to yet, and it's starting to smell a bit if you get in around those areas at all. But otherwise, it's pretty much back to normal. Stores or businesses and that are slowly opening up. Houses are slowly getting cleaned again. And people are starting to get out. The rain has been good, that it's got a lot of the dust out of the air. A lot of the mud that's dried has turned into dust, and all the traffic's just created this cloud of dust over the city. And the other day I had to ride my motorbike with my mask underneath the helmet just to keep the dirt out of your mouth because it was so bad. But the rain sort of cut that down a bit, so that's really good. And the other thing I heard the other day, because I've been here for 7 months now, and one thing I found out was that even though we've had the smoky season, the burning season and all that earlier in the year, we had some really extreme hot weather where it got to 44, nearly 45 degrees Celsius. And then of course the floods hit. You know that not many people probably didn't notice it, but there was actually an earthquake here about 3 days ago. And that was pretty amazing. And I thought, wow, an earthquake, what more could happen? So, but the earthquake turned out to be only about, I think it was about one point something, so hardly noticeable. But I did check on the news and found out that last year, at about the same time, there was a substantial earthquake here that measured at about 5 point something on the Richter scale. So there we go, we have earthquakes here as well. Which, me being up in a tall, high-rise condominium building, I'm not too concerned about floodwaters reaching me, but an earthquake's another situation, isn't it? I wouldn't like to be up there feeling the building start to shake. So let's hope that was just a one-off. Which brings me to the other point that which I was mentioning to a friend of mine, saying, thank God there's no volcanoes around here. But then I realised there probably is. There probably is, because there are hot springs everywhere. You can go over to the mountains around here and spend a day or half a day at the hot springs and chill out. And obviously volcanic areas where there's hot springs. Am I right? I was talking to someone earlier from New Zealand. We're talking about Rotorua and the hot springs. That's all volcanic areas, isn't it? So yeah, so I guess, who knows, maybe there is a risk of a volcano eruption somewhere. Oh, I don't think so though, I don't think I'm going to be that unlucky. Anyway, we've got a few people in. If you're viewing this for the first time, say g'day. You can say hello in chat if you can. Let me know where you're from. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm heading up to a good number of subscribers, and I've got a new video. Hello Joe, welcome Joe. Where are you from, Joe? I've got a video coming out tomorrow actually. Melbourne, Bacchus Marsh. Alright, I've heard of that name. Obviously Melbourne, I'm from Sydney, well, born in Sydney, but yeah, that's good. You're 4 hours ahead of us now since you've had your daylight savings come in, so that would make it about midday. Oh no, you'll be in, is that New South Wales only, I think, or is it just, I can't remember. Queensland don't touch the clocks, I think it's only New South Wales. Oh yes, you'll be moving to Chiang Mai next year. Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you. If you don't know, I only just moved here in February this year, full time. I've been here many times in the past. Have you been here before? That's the first question I'm going to ask before I start throwing advice to you. Like I was saying, I've got a video coming out about the online 90-day reporting system they have out of here many times. Good. Okay, then you know exactly what you're doing. So yeah, beautiful spot, Chiang Mai. Not for everybody, you know. I'm travelling since 2009 to Thailand. Okay, yeah, that's a good long time. That is, yeah. Yeah, I've been probably about twice as long as that. But not always Chiang Mai though, but definitely Thailand. Yeah. I just like it up north here. Apparently it's a bit cooler up here, which I haven't really experienced yet. But we're coming into that season now, a little bit cooler. And also, the only thing that Chiang Mai lacks to anywhere down south is the beaches. There's a lot of beaches down south, which I'm a beach person in Australia. I love the beaches, but you know, I've got a great swimming pool, and that does mean I'm literally at the swimming pool nearly every day. And there are water parks up here. There are waterfalls and places you can swim. There's actually a beach. I actually did a video on a beach up here. So if you wanted to go to the beach, there is one. It does have a couple of faults though. The Chiang Mai beach, it has water, but you can't swim in it. It's like a big property. They've turned the big reservoir, filled it with water, and then spread sand around and put out deck chairs and pergolas and set it up to look like a beach. The only problem is there's no swimming allowed. So it sort of defeats the purpose a bit. But I did a video on it, so if you subscribe or you just want to go back and check on the playlists and see, Chiang Mai Beach is the title. Yeah. Too many temptations down south. Exactly, that's right. Well, you know, if I was a drinking guy, you know, if I don't drink, so that sort of rules out some of the places down there. You know, I'm not really want to get around where there's too many tourists around. Chiang Mai is perfect for everything else. It's got cultural areas up here. It's got, you know, if you want to go to the bars and that, there is a couple of places and a one main walking sort of street up here where they have all the bars, which are all sort of reopening now after the flood. So they're coming back into business. I was thinking of doing a video, even though I don't frequent those areas, I was thinking of doing a video of that area and possibly even walking down there doing a live stream. So in the weeks to come, keep an eye out on that for that. I might just do a casual walk down and we'll go past all the bars and massage parlours and everything all down that street. There's a Thai boxing and all sorts of stuff down there. So yeah, just a walk through live. It'll be interesting one night, especially before the big tourist season hits and these places start getting too busy, because I understand that, and for good reason, a lot of foreigners here, whether they're on holiday or living, don't like to be seen on someone's YouTube live stream or whatever, so you've got to be a little bit careful where you're pointing the camera. So we'll just do a casual, slow walk down there and see how that goes. Yeah, it'll be something different. Try the White Rabbit cocktail bar. It's something different. Is it? Different. You got me worried now. White Rabbit cocktail bar. Okay. Alright. Yeah. But right now it's not too bad. Like, you know, the couple of times I have gone down that road, there's no tourists, hardly any tourists around, especially on a weeknight. You know. So, you know, the girls are happy to talk to you for a while. Yes, in like a deserted building. Okay, I see. Very good. Yeah, so I'll do a wander through somewhere like that, and we'll check that out. Yeah, but tomorrow's video that's coming out is all about the online reporting that we do here. So if you're coming over here to live and retire, and you're on your extension of stay visa, whether it be for retirement or education or whatever type, there's plenty of different types of visas like that. They all need to do 90-day reporting. And you can usually, most people do that in person. You just show up at immigration, obviously every 90 days, hand them over a piece of paper with your passport, and they give you a piece of paper back telling you the date to come back in another 90 days, and that's it. So, but now you can do it online. We have been able to do it online for a long time. So I thought, well, I've done my first one. Your first one you have to do in person, okay? You have to go there. And I also, just as a tip, if you leave the country and come back on one of those, on your retirement visa or whatever, and you have a re-entry, so you're okay. You've got to remember to get a re-entry visa, unless you've already got a multiple entry for your visa. When you come back into the country, your 90 days starts fresh from that date. Alright? So if you come back and you had 4 days, we've got this guy selling something by the sound of him yelling out. I don't know what he's selling, something in the bags. So you're doing the retirement visa, okay, yeah. So what you've got to do is go and come back in. So if you come back in and you say you had 4 weeks, a month before you had to report, it'll start from fresh from your re-entry stamp, okay, which will give you in 3 months. So it'll be a fresh 90 days. So anyway, yeah, so now you can do it online. You can do it all online if it's not your first time. And I made a video talking about my attempt, let's just say my attempt at doing it online. It didn't go as planned. So you'll have to watch that tomorrow and see what happens, because it could happen to you. You could suddenly find that you've done the application, you put it all in, and then you get your email back telling you it's been rejected. And then don't panic. You're not going to get chased up by immigration and kicked out of the country or whatever. There's solutions. I just go through the video of sorting that out. So Joe's saying, much easier to do it there than here in Australia. Yes. Okay, so for the visa application in Australia, requires you 2 extra things that you don't need to do. I'm in contact with the same one. Okay, yes, so that's assist Thai visa. They're really good. They were for me. So yeah, doing it in Australia requires you to have. They do a criminal record check. Okay, so if you've got a history of whatever stupid offences or whatever it is, you're going to have a problem. And you need to have health insurance. You need to sign up for health insurance, and that's the biggest scam of the whole thing, because you can only choose between about 6 options that are so-called government-approved health insurance. And I'm not talking travel insurance, we're talking like 12-month health insurance signed up for as part of your application. Right, well, if you come over here and do your retirement visa application while you're in the country here, you don't need any of that. You don't need to do that, or you can pick your own insurance, but it's not part of the application. Okay, and you can save yourself quite a bit of money. And also, the criminal history check is not done. You don't need to worry about that. Oh, 7-Eleven. Be at the 7-Eleven dioramas, the one with LEDs is cool. Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't know there was one, but that'd be interesting. I could check that out. Yeah. Yeah, we love our 7-Elevens. comes this guy. I don't know what he's saying on the bike. I hope my audio's okay. There we go. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. Maybe he's selling kittens. He could be selling kittens in those Eshin bags. Who knows? I saw live frogs for sale in the market yesterday. I was showing a friend. We were doing FaceTime, and I showed him all the chicken and the fish, and then we went through, and there's this net lane there of all these Kermit frogs all in there hopping underneath it. I don't intend on eating frogs anytime soon. I can tell you that the agent you're going through, they got flooded out. Fortunately, they have 2 offices up here in Chiang Mai. One of their offices, the one I use, the river went right through their place. I think they're back open in business now this week. The other office was always open. It's further away from the river, so it would have been okay. But other than that, they're really good. They're really helpful. This Thai visa, a lot of people, they bag it and say, oh, what do you want to pay a fortune to get that? It only costs you $1,900 to get your visa. Well, it's not just that. It's all the complications involved. You need to have your Thai bank account. That's the biggest hurdle you've got to get over. They're making that harder all the time. You can't just come in on a tourist visa and show that. You need to show proof of residency and so forth and things. Again, agents can sort that out for you. One option would be to pay an agent to sort out your bank account for you, and then go and do the visa application on your own. But again, doing things for the first time, it can be complicated. And what happens if it gets refused for some reason, or delays? It can be troublesome. I'm even thinking about my renewal. So I have to do my extension on mine after 12 months. They're only valid every 12 months. You've got to get another extension on each year. Now, if you want to go through an agent and have them do it for you, I've been quoted, and I'm not talking about the Cis Thai visa up here, but I've been quoted by an agent down in Pattaya who was a cheap price, a good price. They wanted about 12,000 Thai baht to do the visa extension on your retirement extension of stay. Okay, 12,000 baht. So we're looking at $500 Australian. All right. Now, to give you an idea, if you know what you're doing and you want to do it yourself, you go up to immigration in the morning, you grab a number, you make sure you've got your paperwork sorted, and you sit there for half a day, and you'll walk away and you pay 1,900 baht. All visa extensions, whatever type it is, it's 1,900 baht. That's your price. And then you've got your retirement visa or whatever for another 12 months. Okay. When I say retirement visa, I say that because a lot of people call it that, and it does actually have a stamp above the visa saying retirement, but it's actually called an extension of stay. And if you've got an education visa for education purposes, it will have education written there instead of retirement. Or whatever the reason is, it'll have that. That's the reason for your extension of stay visa. Okay. It's in my case, it was for retirement, and that's it. So 1,900 baht. That's it. It's same if you're coming here on a tourist visa. Okay, or you're coming here with a visa exemption. And now you get 60 days when you walk through now as an Australian and most nationalities. You just fly to the airport, line up, and you get stamped in for 2 months. Done, easy. You can extend that if you wish for an extra, I think it's an extra 60 days. But like I say, it's another extension. It'll be 1900 baht, which is not much. 1900 baht's not much. Yeah. So anyway, that's the story on that video, which will come out tomorrow, and that's about it. I also did a live stream yesterday for a walk as well. I went to one of the parks around here and watched them playing sort of like, I don't know what they call it, where you're playing like volleyball, except you're using your feet to kick the plastic ball over the net. That was pretty cool. So we got the car that's going to block our view now. Yep. Oh well. Sorry about that. As the sun's come out now, so it's looking like a really nice day outside now. Joe, yes, did you end up getting your DJI 3? No, mate, I didn't. I actually got the DJI 4. Yes, 4, and I'm using the microphone now. In fact, I can show you the camera. How about I show you guys the camera? The 3 or 4. Well, I'll tell you why I didn't pick the 3, and it may be, and it's the big reason why. The 3 is not compatible with the microphone system. So the mic 2 that you can get out, which is what I'm using on my phone now. I've got the transmitter I'm wearing, and I've got the receiver connected into the charging plug on my Android phone. So you can't use that on the DJI 3, not compatible. Only 4 and 5 it'll work with. So that's why I went up, because I really did want to buy the microphone system as well, which I did. And the main reason is because not only can I use the microphone on the camera, but I can use it like I am now doing a live stream on the phone and get much better audio. Yes, the waterproof, it's waterproof. I think it might be just a 3 metre difference. I know the number 5's a little bit deeper, but the average swimming pool, how often are you going to go scuba diving? You know? Unless it's specifically that's a reason, maybe you do need to get the one that's extra waterproof. Personally, I wouldn't like to put these underwater anyway, but hey, you know, they say the same for my phone. So the other advantage of the mic system is that I can connect my microphone directly into my computer and use it when I do my live streams or whatever, recordings on my computer. So I get 3 benefits out of the microphone system. There's the mic, there it is. It's a bit dark, isn't it? You can't see. So that's number 4. I'll turn the camera around for a second, guys. Here we go. Alright, so there you can see a bit better. So this was the latest until a couple of weeks ago when they brought out number 5. Alright, and this is fantastic. Like, look at that. Alright, screens are a bit bigger and worth it, and of course the microphone system works everywhere on it. Alright, so really good. And of course there's the microphone here, and with my little dead cat. Alright, and the microphone is fantastic as well. Okay, turn the camera around, don't want to see me. Yes, so if you mount it to a motorbike, the good thing about the number 4, I don't know if it's the number 3, number 4 has this mounting system. See this? It's magnetic. So not only does it clip in with the clips on the side into the bottom of the camera, but there's magnets, a really strong magnet there as well, so it's not coming off. All right, and I've got the connection on the handlebar of my scooter, so I can connect it onto there. And I'll tell you what though, I get a ton of camera shake on my scooter. Like it really, the camera shakes the absolute shit out, and I'm thinking, oh my god. I mean, we've got image stabilization built into the camera, and Rocksteady it's called, and it's fine, but I'm watching my camera shake. I thought surely that's not going to show a nice smooth image, but amazingly it does. It looks really good. One thing about here in Thailand, there's some bad potholes, I'll tell you. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming into that best time of the year up here in Chiang Mai now, so I'm going to be doing a lot of motorcycle touring and videoing it on the bike as well, so definitely. Joe's saying, and you can change the battery in that one? Yes, the battery just pops out as well. It's, yeah, you can buy spare batteries, and so you've always got a spare one charged up. I can't take it out at the moment because it's in the frame, but yeah, the battery's quite good. Just be aware, if you're going to film in 4K, then it might be a bit shorter battery life, but I'll still get like 2 hours of recording at, so I'm recording at 4K 4K 50 frames per second, and I'll get nearly 2 hours of recording out of that. Can you link it through your phone? I can live stream from the camera using my internet off my phone if I want. Yes, I can what do they call it? Is it like Bluetooth, or the camera has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so I can connect it through my phone as a hotspot, but I've been told that the phone does a better job. So I don't really need to. You can use the camera in portrait mode and do that. That's fine. But yeah, so just check. The main difference was between the two was the microphone system. If you're going to buy that, it won't work on the 3. You need the number 4. And the 5, DJI 5. Well, that's another step up with considerable more cost. At least 25% more, plus the fact that it had a lot of features on there that I would never need, I would never use, you know. Yeah, like I've been using DJI for about nearly, well, the action camera I had was number 1, was their first action camera they brought out, so that was probably about 7 years ago. And I've had that one camera all that time until now, when I've just updated to number 4. So yeah, there's heaps of reviews out there on YouTube you can watch and check out, and especially once it goes through all the features. So, but that was the main thing for me why I went up to number 4. All up, it cost me 20,000 Thai baht for the microphones and the DJI 4 camera. Now, there is a kit you can get that comes with an extra battery and a selfie stick, but I didn't need that. I didn't really need that. In fact, I'd probably, and even my memory card is only 32 gig, I think, on the memory card, and they only cost about $10. You can buy them online. Yeah, 20,000. That's about 800 Australian dollars. You know, that's the camera and the microphone system. The microphone system was almost as much as the camera. But like I said, I get to use it for the phone, the camera, and my computer. So it's definitely worthwhile, worth spending money on. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can say about that. So if you haven't already, and say hello if you haven't in chat. We've got a few people watching. It seems a bit quiet, a little bit quiet online. Maybe it's the time, I don't know. Maybe I should try live streaming at a different time. I know over in the US it's probably a bit late at night, depending on where you are in the US. It's really trouble, you know. Like, why can't we all be on the same time zone on this planet? You know? I mean, alright, doesn't make much sense, does it? I mean, you can the middle of the day at night time. I mean, sure. It sounds like there's a vehicle on its way down with someone on a loudspeaker selling stuff. 9:36 p.m. from Michael Montgomery. Here. Where's here? You're in the States, I'm guessing. That would be in the States, maybe on the Midwest area, maybe. What time is it? I'm guessing you could be in 9. Well, you're not in Texas, because if you're in Texas, it'd be 8:36. Ohio. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Of course, you're the night before. It's still Saturday. Here it's Sunday morning. So, yeah. So, guys, I was going to ask a question. If I was going to... hello there, Casey. Hey, well, Casey Malone, welcome. Oh God, yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning in England, in the UK, yeah. I'm in Chiang Mai in Thailand, in the north of Thailand, where I live, and love it up here. It's a fantastic place up here in Chiang Mai, and I certainly, I've been coming to Thailand for the last 15, maybe even 20 years, nearly every year. You know, when you fly somewhere from Australia, one of the hubs when you leave Sydney is Bangkok, you know. Like, you can fly anywhere in the world from Bangkok, but not necessarily from anywhere in the world from Sydney in Australia. So Bangkok's a good place to do a stopover. One of my lists to come there next year. Yes, mate, you're welcome to. It's, you know, it's getting very, very popular place to come, especially as everything else is getting expensive around the world in the Western countries. The cost of everything is going up so much. You know, in a lot of cases, you can come and fly here for a few weeks holiday cheaper than you could in your own country. You know. Hello there, Sugan. Hey there, welcome. Show more places in Thailand? I will be. When I moved here in January, my channel was actually called Retiring in Thailand, all about just retiring in Thailand. But then I realised that, well, when I am retired here, I'm going to do a little bit more. So I managed to change the channel to Discovering Thailand. And I'm sorry about the noise. We'll have to wait till this truck loudspeaker goes by. Yeah. Fortunately, they come past my condo making all this noise. We're in a local area here, so that'll wake a few people up who are trying to sleep in. Sorry about the background noise. He's just decided to park right just up the road there. Anyway, famous Thai messages in Thailand. It is. You're really feeling it, aren't you? It's like being here, isn't it? I know you're all just trying to make it as realistic as possible. But yeah, I do plan on going out to places in the north of Thailand here from Chiang Mai. I'm going to go up to the border of Burma. I'm going to go up to Pai, maybe visit Chiang Rai. It's all the end of the wet season now, and we're all coming up to the time where it's all, how can I say, less rain, so you can go out on the bike and spend a night someplace, you know. You did a road trip, did you? Yeah? Did a road trip to Payo yesterday. Oh yeah, nice place for a day trip, quiet, peaceful day. Yeah, I've done a few. I've been out to the mountains surrounding here for a day, out to the waterfalls and hot springs and stuff like that. And I'm going to do more of that, a lot more of that. And of course I'm going to venture further afield. Yes, Casey, what is the rent for your condo if you are renting, if you don't mind? Yeah, listen, I did a video all about my budget here for a month. Here comes this loudspeaker. Let's hope he continues and doesn't stop. Right, he'll probably stop right in front of me here. Oh my luck. This is a good test for the DJI microphone. There it is. I don't know what he's selling. A couple of nurses coming in for their breakfast possibly. Oh look, they've stopped right there. Just my luck. Okay, give me a sound check, guys. Can you still all hear me okay over the noise? That's the important thing. Welcome to Thailand. I'll get to your question shortly. Just let me know if you can hear me okay. Okay, that's good. All right. So my rent is 8,000 baht. 8,000 baht a month. All right. Do the calculations on that. Aussie dollars, I don't remember, but if it's Aussie dollars, you divide it by 22. 8,000 divided by 32 would be US dollars, maybe about 45 to British pounds. Either way, it's very, very cheap. Okay. Yeah, 45 baht, that's right, yeah, to the British pound. And I'm paying 8,000 baht a month. So that's 2,000 baht a week. Yeah, cheap. My water bill, your bills come in monthly here in Thailand. Yeah, very cheap. And now I've got a 48 square metre studio condominium with a balcony, with a mountain view, uninterrupted view of the mountains. I'm not looking onto the balcony of a apartment next door or anything like that. The other side of the building is a river view, looking over the Ping River, and the other side of the condo is looking over towards the city. And I'm about 10 minutes on a motorbike from the city, or a 30-minute walk. And I have everything I need where I am. So, like I was saying, monthly bills cost me only 100 baht a month for my water bill. My electricity, when I don't use the air conditioning, is about 700 baht a month. 700 baht. Very, very cheap. If I'm using electricity in the peak of summer, like you guys were just mentioning there in April, where it's extremely hot, my electricity bill doubles to 1,400 to even 1,700 baht, but that is still cheap. per month compared to Western countries anyway. And besides that, I'm a tall, skinny guy, so I don't notice the heat too much. So I never have the aircon running 24/7. Never. I might just have it going in the afternoon, just before I go to sleep, and then I turn it off. That's it. Yeah, April is extremely hot. We've got up to about 40 degrees for a week or 2 weeks in a row, constantly. But make sure you've got a condo with a pool, you'll be right. And then of course you can always hop in. The equivalent of Uber over here is a Grab, they call it Grab or Bolt, and they have air conditioning like people use in their cars, so it's air conditioned so you can get around. You don't have to go by motorbike taxi. Of course the shopping centres, the air conditioning works fantastic in the shopping centres, in the big shopping malls. 7-Eleven, it's amazing. You see all the local stray dogs all lying outside the front door of 7-Eleven, catching the cool wind that comes out every time someone walks in. I couldn't go out in the daytime. They even put blocks of ice inside the buildings. Yeah. I actually saw a photograph of the staff at one hotel throwing blocks of ice into the swimming pool. How's that? Blocks of ice going into the swimming pool. Amazing. So that's March, April, May. It's also up here north, it's also the burning season. So the pollution, a few days was the worst in the world, and really noticeable too. And then we've got Jay, hello there. I know that we have to respect everything, but what do you think of the food? Honestly, I like the food. You know, it's good. You know, I ate Thai food back in Australia, and it tastes the same, okay, but it's fresher. The food is fresher here. You know, every shop and restaurant and cafe and street stall, they buy all their food for the day that morning. Every day, every morning, fresh. You know, not like Western countries where you can put stuff in the freezer for 12 months and thaw it out when you need it, heating up in a microwave. Here it's all fresh all the time. And it's great. And I'm not one for spicy food. I don't like spicy food. I'm glad that truck's finally gone out of the way. Now I can even think clearly. Yeah, the spicy food, I'm not into spicy food, but I can eat everything here. It's not a problem. I just say not hot, not too spicy. And it's usually okay. Casey's saying it's summertime for Thailand and South Asia, and I couldn't go out in the daytime. They even put blocks of ice, inside the building. So that's in the early part of the year. Yeah, that's March, April, May. That's when I first came over here. I came here in February, enjoyed the first few weeks, and then the heat came. There were times, like, I don't mind heat, I'm okay with hot weather, but there were times where, it just got a bit much. It's like, either throw on that aircon or head down to the local shopping centre. Or what I would do is I'd go to the movies. So I would go to the cinema and enjoy that, because the cinemas are cheap. It costs you $5 to see a movie here, the latest release, and you can sit there for a couple of hours in a beautiful, cool aircon cinema and watch a movie. I must have seen about 6 movies during the hot weather. So there you go. Tip. There's a tip. And food is no process like in the West. Oh no, everything's fresh, super fresh. I walked through the market yesterday. Look at this guy and his little... It's going forward and beeping. I think he's got it plugged in the wrong way. Oh no, that was his indicator. He's got an audio blinking indicator. Good on him. Looks like he's been through some floods on that thing. Needs a wash. Yeah, it's. I went through the markets and everything is super fresh, to the point where it's not refrigerated. I mean, the meat's just sitting out there, not even in ice. You know when meat isn't fresh. You know, it starts to get that sort of a brown tinge to it. It doesn't look like 100%. So you just got to. Yeah, you just know fresh meat looks fresh, you know. Yeah. I've had no problem with the food here. It's been good. If Thai food is like in Australia, then I'll be happy. It is. It's just a hell of a lot cheaper. Oh God. I mean, I can go out and have a nice big dinner of pad Thai that fill me up. You know, I'm not a big eater, but that's enough for me. It cost me 40 baht, right? So less than $2 to have my dinner, and then I'll stop in at 7-Eleven before I go up to my condo and buy myself an ice cream for another $1, and that's dinner done. Easy, you know. Now that's a street stall. You know, that's a street stall. If you want to sit inside a restaurant and have something and enjoy the aircon, okay, you might pay $4 for that pad Thai, $3. If you're in the touristy area up in the old city, you'll pay about 25% more for most foods because it's a touristy area. Where I am, it's an expat community, very few tourists. So there, and a lot of locals they cater for. So yeah, the food is fine. I mean, look, this woman out the front here, you see this woman here, she's got a little food stall, so she's obviously been to the market, picked up some chicken wings, I think they are, and some pork, it looks like. Just bought what she needs for the day, and then brought that here. She's got a little esky there, just pops it in there, and then a little fryer going, barbecue, and she's cooking that up in that little white bag. She's got little plastic bags. Got all little sauces already pre-done in little plastic containers and cups. See, this guy's getting some pork. Now that would cost him, I reckon that cost him about $1 at the most. 20 baht. 20 baht. Okay. There you go. And you don't have to worry about things like tourist price for food. Okay. If I walked over there and ordered what he ordered, I'd be charged the same thing. Okay, I'd be charged the same thing. I'm fairly sure that's common in most places. All right, they'll have the prices up, and everybody pays. That's the price. There's a lot of the places have prices up, which is good. You know, you're not just guessing what it's going to be. You know what you're going to pay. Menus for foreigner or local, it doesn't matter. Okay, she's doing a good little bit of business here. She's got another customer pull up. The only time you'll pay foreigner price is at tourist locations and possibly some national parks that you might visit. Although the ones I've been here to, I tend to go out on my bike early in the morning, and there's usually nobody in the office at the park entrance when I go through on my bike, so I skip paying. But there you might pay quite a lot. There you might pay, for instance, I know that there was a national park I went to a few times with a beautiful lake I could swim in down near Korat in northeastern Thailand, where my girlfriend used to live. And I saw on the board, and it's there, plain to see, you know, For foreigners to go into that national park, it costs 25 baht, okay, or 20 baht. But for me, for a local, it was 20 baht to go in. For a foreigner, it was 150. Okay, so quite a substantial markup. So yeah, touristy spots sometimes will have a tourist price. In fact, if I remember right, I think even Chiang Mai Zoo had two separate prices. In fact, I'm fairly sure they had two separate prices. The trick there was, though, it's written in Thai. So you see the prices in English for you, but the prices in Thai are in Thai, so you don't know how much you're getting ripped off. Casey's saying, personally, like the food from the night markets, yeah, or I tend to look and see where the motorbike taxi guys go to. Yeah, for sure. That's right. Yeah, that's right. They where the locals eat, you can't go wrong. If you walk along, and you see a whole heap of locals eating in that place, then you know that obviously there's a huge turnover in food, and everybody, it's all going to be quite fresh. So, yeah. What else did I see there? Dino. Hello, Dino. Northern Thai food is not as spicy as the southern areas. I didn't know that. I know that Northern Thai food is a little bit different. But yeah, I guess so. And if you want spicy, you can have spicy. It's like in India. I always thought Indian food was spicy, but when I spent 5 months travelling through India, and I hardly had to even ask for non-spicy food. It just wasn't. I mean, in fact, there wasn't even much in the way of curries either. Masala dosa, I remember those. A lot of vegetarian stuff. I'm not, I'm a butcher by trade, so I like my meat. In fact, I miss some of my meat. I don't eat much seafood, actually. Thailand's very good for their seafood. Oh, he's got reversing beep as well. There we go. There we go. He's going to head off now. There he goes. There we go. Full speed ahead. Hopefully he doesn't live far. Yeah. There we go. No rush in Thailand. So I'm not a seafood eater, no. I like just fish and chips you buy in Australia, no problem. And there's a place here you can just buy fish and chips, like battered fish and fries. That's okay, but I'm not into crabs and lobster and prawns. Not for me. But that's very popular over here. So my diet is really just pork or chicken. In fact, if I don't go back to Australia for a while, then I'm certainly going to miss out. I'm going to be missing the old lamb roast. Gosh, nothing like a lamb roast, leg of lamb with baked potatoes. Oh, it's just not going to happen here. Even beef's hard to find here as well. Just all through the market it says no beef. Now, if you go to the supermarkets, that's different. You can buy all this stuff imported. I can buy Australian beef here. I can buy Wagyu beef, but it is way expensive. But to be honest, it's probably, even though it's expensive by Thai standards, it's probably cheaper than you'd buy it in Australia. Okay. So yeah. I think I went and saw a leg of lamb, like a half leg of lamb in the supermarket the other day. Australian leg of lamb, or it might have been a New Zealand lamb. What did they want? I think it was nearly $100 for it. I think it was nearly $100 for it when you did the conversion. Like, just wow, crazy. Has it been in the rainy season in Chiang Mai? Is September and October just the wet months? Yes, it is. Yeah. In fact, I was heard the other day that the 31st of this month is the actual official start of the tourist season and the end of the rainy season, which sort of already has ended, they say. Songkran, the big festival they have here, celebrates the end of the rainy season. I think it does, and so does the Lantern Festival that's coming up at the end of in November next month. That's marking the beginning of or the end of the rainy season as well. I think, did we have? Wasn't too bad. The rainy season, when it rained, it didn't rain for long. It just has, like, for an hour or so, you might just get really heavy storm just come through, and then it goes away and it dries up again. Yeah, during the whole rainy season, I can honestly say there were probably only about 5 full days of non-stop rain. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, it's just make sure you take a raincoat or an umbrella out in case you get caught in a downpour. That's it. And most of the flood that we had here, being the worst in recorded history, didn't happen from rain here in Chiang Mai at all. In fact, it didn't rain here at all. It came from the typhoon that hit Vietnam from the Philippines or China. It came across the top over into Burma, and then of course the source of the Ping River is up in the mountains near the border of Burma, and all that water's come down, and that's what did the flooding. As for here, it wasn't raining any more than usual. In fact, the day after the river flooded, we never saw rain here for a whole week. It was a whole week of sunshine every day and no rain. So there you go. Wanted to say a belated thanks for your Thai driver's license video. Okay, yeah. Got mine a while back and super easy thanks to your video. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. It is easy. And it's very cheap. I think it cost about 110 baht and you got your license for 2 years. That was the motorbike license. And then when you renew it, all it is just a matter of walking in there and just paying for 5 years. I don't know how much that is, but you can get it. It's 5 years when you go and renew it after 2 years. I only got the motorcycle license because I had that on my Australian license, and I knew while I'm here I'm not going to drive a car, so I didn't bother getting a car license. Maybe at the time I should have just gone and paid it. They have 2 separate licenses. You know, there's one for the car, one for the bike, whereas in Australia it's all on one license. But if you already have that license in your own country, then you don't have to do the driving examination here, the test or anything. You just show, you will need your international driver's license to be valid and have that, as well as your home driver's and or motorcycle license. And then it's just as simple as coming in here and paying, basically, give them the paperwork. You need to get a residency certificate, which is easy to do as well. All you do is take your passport to immigration, and it doesn't cost anything, and you take a number, sit down, and you get a certificate that sort of like proof of where you live. You can do that on a tourist visa if you wanted to, and then take that. But yeah, if you don't have the driver's license from your home country and that, then you have to do the exam, which can be a little bit more frustrating. But otherwise, yeah, just go up there and pay and it's done. When I go back and renew it for the second after 2 years, then I might get the car one just for the sake of having it. Because one of the problems I've encountered over here is that last month my Australian driver's license expired. Okay. Now I knew that it was going to expire obviously before I came here, but at the time I thought, oh, that's okay. What I did was my Queensland driver's licence, I changed my address to my sister's place in Queensland, thinking that, right, when it's up for renewal, I'll just do it online like you can, and they can send the licence to my sister's place. No problem. So, all good. And then when my sister gets it, she can just mail it to me. Not that I need an Australian driver's licence, but I'd like to hang on to it, you know. I mean, I have my bike and my car licence on that, and it's a good form of ID besides your passport, having a valid licence. Anyway, I found out when the time came to apply online that they won't let me apply online because I have to update my photograph. And the only way to update your photograph is for you to go into the motor registry and do it in Queensland. So I can't renew my driver's licence. But the good news to that, if that is good news, is that I can still renew my Australian driver's and motorcycle licence up to 5 years after it expires without having to resit the tests. So I've got 5 years to go back to Australia, which I'm sure I will for some reason go back and visit. Then I'll go and renew it, just pay the renewal, and then I'm done. And then I know that when I renew it 5 years in the future, or whenever the renewal's up again, it'll have a fresh photograph and they won't ask for it, and I can do it online. So I'm pretty much set for the next 10 years. But yeah, I got caught out with that, I didn't realise. Alright, so yeah. Hey Jim, welcome mate. Welcome mate, how are you? You must have had a sleep, did you, before you woke up and realised, oh, Pete's online. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, I better go watch him, eh? So, I've been here for a while. We've just clocked over an hour. It's amazing, isn't it? You can tell I live on my own. I start the live, just before the live stream starts, I think, well, what am I going to talk about? And I go and have a look in the Bangkok Post. I see if there's anything any newsworthy of bringing up the subject of, or anything to talk about. But no, I just blab out everything, you know, like they just talk. And then suddenly an hour has gone by. So, you know, this is easy to do. Live streaming's easy, guys. You know? And of course you guys there in chat too, you know, you're welcome to ask any questions or anything like that at all. This is a Q&A, as the title and the thumbnail says. It's a Q&A, and if I can't answer it, then I'm sure someone in chat can, or I'll get back to you. But you know, most of you guys, if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. I'm all about just my life over here and how a single person can retire early. I mean, I've retired 12 years earlier than retirement age. I've come over here at my age to retire, you know. In 2 years' time I'll be up for superannuation, and 10 years after that I'll actually be able to get my pension. So, you know, if you work it out, most Aussies have a pretty good superannuation built up. Well, you should have, alright, because I don't know how it works in other countries, but in Australia, your employer, providing you've been employed most of your working life like I have, I've never, other than intentionally, I've never been unemployed in my life. Your employer, by law, must contribute to your superannuation a percentage of your wages or income or salary. So you, even if you don't contribute yourself, you'll have a substantial amount of superannuation built up. And when you turn 57, that's yours. And you have 2 choices, and both those choices do not involve tax, all right? Your superannuation is completely tax-free, okay? You don't have to pay, you've already paid tax on that, all right? Back when the pandemic hit, the government gave the option that people could access their superannuation in $10,000 lump sums, right? And they did that twice. I jumped on the bandwagon for that, and I said, yes, please. So you know what I did? I went on there, I go, right, 10,000? Good. I put in my application, and straight away 10,000 of my superannuation went into my bank account. Now that obviously took a chunk out of your superannuation, right? But what did I do with that? Right, first of all, I paid off all my debts. I paid off my motorbike debt that I had. I paid off my credit card debt, and I still had about 4,000 cash. And I went to the bank and I took out that 4,000 cash and I took it home and locked it away. Now I am debt free. I have no loans, no money to pay off anyone, and I had cash put aside. And then the government turns around and says, you can do that again. You can take another 10,000 out of your superannuation. And I did, straight up. Thank you. 10,000. I went to the bank, went into the branch, said, right, I want that, withdraw my $10,000 cash in $100 bills, please. And I did. Yes, mate. Try Vlogs Unlimited. Yes, mate. I'm in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I just, hi there. How are you, by the way? So I took out that 10,000 cash, added that to my 4,000. I had 14,000 cash. What did I do with that? Well, first of all, I sent that money straight away using Wise into my Bangkok bank account, which I'd already had. I've had my Bangkok bank account from a visit here a few years ago. So I sent it straight over into my Bangkok bank account and left it there and didn't touch it. That was a nice big chunk of my savings for my 2 years. All I needed was enough money to survive, live over here for 2 years until I can get my superannuation when I turn 57. And of course, my superannuation is almost $500,000 Australian. And then I'm set for the next 10 years until I'll be entitled to my pension, Australian pension, because I've worked since I was 16 and been paying tax since I was 16. So even though I've been out of the workforce for 12 years, living in another country, I've still accumulated enough working years in my life to be entitled to the pension. There you go, there's the story on that. Let me catch up on chat, guys. You all just mad Diddy, yeah? Had your favourite artists and celebrities stretching no pre-workout. Don't know what that means, but okay. Hi there, Mr. Trill, yes. You're just mad. You just repeated the same thing. That's fine. Like number 10, yeah. Yes, I'm in Thailand. Dino, retire as young as you can. Retire at 50 and you get a good 20 years of go-go retirement before your body starts shutting down. Exactly, mate. And you need to be 50 to get the retirement visa. You can't get a retirement extension of stay visa until you're 50. You can come over before that. Now they've got the destination Thailand visa, which is valid for 5 years. So you can always apply for that. That's a little bit trickier. I'm not going to go talking about that, but that's a little bit trickier. But at least that gives you 5 years at 45 until bang, when you hit 50, you can, if you wanted to, then switch over to retirement visa. And don't forget, your extension of stay retirement visa does not mean you can't be working or income. You're just here retiring. It has nothing to do with income or working. You can still be retired here on a retirement visa and be earning money from overseas, whether it be rentals from your rental investments to working online from a company overseas. You can still do that on a retirement visa. What you can't do on a retirement visa is work here in Thailand for a Thai company based here in Thailand. Okay, that requires a working visa. Okay, but you can come here and get a job as a teacher if you wanted to. A lot of people do that, but that's not retiring, is it? Retiring is not working. Okay, so my only income is YouTube. Okay, my only income is YouTube, and I'll be straight up front with all of you. It's a small channel, very, very small channel. I'm monetized, of course, heading for 2,500 to 3,000 subscribers. I've got nearly, what have I got? 5,500 on my other channel. Okay, my income from YouTube is almost covering my rental expenses for the month. It covers my rent for the month. But I don't really look at it that way. I look at it as in people who join the channel. I mean, you can subscribe for free. That's no problem at all. If you want to join the channel, it only costs the equivalent of $5 Australian a month. You know, it's not much. But things like that, and super chats and stuff like that that come in that way, rather than the YouTube monetization advertising, right? All that extra stuff, buy me a coffee and things, that's what buys me my DJI microphone, my DJI camera. Helps me get out there, make more content for you guys. Makes it a little bit easier because I've got better quality video. I have to spend less time editing, you know. I had another YouTuber, his name's Fred, who has a channel. He's up here in Chiang Mai, all right? He gave me a super chat of 30, I think it was, 20 or 30 US dollars in super chat. Okay, thank you very much for that, Fred. You know what I did with that money? I know he's not in here, but he might be watching the replay. But just to show you what I do, is I went to the computer store last week and I bought myself some extra RAM for my computer because I realised that I only have 16 gigabyte of RAM in my PC that I do my video editing on. So I went out and bought 32 gig of RAM, some good quality Kingston RAM, and one stick of that. So I do have another, another slot for another one if I want to upgrade further. But I put 32 in. Oh my God, the difference that made on my editing. Straight away, as soon as I drop the video files on the timeline, I go through and editing, and then I render it, and then I go through and save it all. Everything was so much more faster and better, and this playback was smoother. These are the sort of things that help me out so much to create more content and get better quality stuff happening out there. So yeah, but like I say, that's my income and that's it. You know, I think I do pay tax. I'm not sure about that. The US does take a small tax out of that. I see that on the invoices of every time you get paid by YouTube. But again, you know, that's perfectly fine in Thailand, being on a retirement visa and earning money on YouTube. Like I say, I'm only a small channel, you know, but I don't know how you go if the channel gets bigger. So anyway, well guys, I'm going to finish it up here. I want to thank everybody for joining on the live stream. I might try it a little bit later in the day, which probably won't make those in America too happy. We just might try a different time next week and different location as well. Who knows? It all depends on the weather and what's happening, where I am. But you know, it's quite a good spot. A little bit noisy, but it's not too bad. Alright, so anyway, the location of where I am is in the description. There's a Google Map location. It shows exactly where the MEEKINCOFFEE is. So if you're in Chiang Mai, and a lovely girl in here does some great breakfast here. I just had, to give you an idea, I just had scrambled eggs, poached eggs, bread, sausages, a cappuccino, water, which I'm just finishing here, and tea for 70 baht at $3. $3. That's what breakfast costs here. So she's way too cheap. She needs to put the price up a bit. That's crazy cheap. So anyway, so yeah, the glue, it's here. And she's had a few customers come from my channel and eat here. So and they've just opened again since the flood. So they were shut for a week or so, but we're back up and running now. So yeah, help support the locals here and come around for a coffee or something, or breakfast even. It's a really nice breakfast. And I am going to go and get back to the condo. I'm going to do a little bit more video editing and prepare for the video that will come out tomorrow, which will be all about online 90-day reporting. And then I'm going to start planning a motorbike ride. I haven't been for a trip anywhere for a bit since the floods. I've just been waiting until the cleanups happened and I can get around. Got another loudspeaker truck coming past. Might be the same one we had before. But I'm gonna, yeah, I've been waiting for, a lot of the places are not really accessible from the flood, so I've been waiting a while. So, but next week, yeah, I might try and head out and we'll go visit somewhere. Yeah. A couple of nurses there, heading off to the hospital. But yeah, if you guys think of it, if you jump in and leave a comment, if you've got any ideas, subjects you want me to do videos on, let me know. I don't mind, even if I just bring up the questions and that during any video, it'll be fine. I'm going to do a few more walking videos, walking tours around, like a few other YouTubers do. Just on any subject, but just having a look around, exploring myself too, like take you places I've never been to before. We can all just check out places and see what's going on, and explore. It's just an amazing place about Chiang Mai. It's just, every little story or street you walk down, you see new things all the time. It's just amazing. So I'll do more walking videos. Anyway, I've been talking enough. Turn the camera around for a second. There we go. Alright, you like the haircut? $5. $5 for this haircut. Pretty good, eh? Yeah, haircut and a shave for $5. How about Peter learning Thai? that's yeah. That'll have to be a video series that goes for part 1 to part 5,000. We'll do a word a day, a word a week. How about that? Okay, a word a week. How to write and pronounce a word a week. Hey? It's probably a good idea. I should, I really should. There's so many things on my should list. It's just unbelievable. I've got my bucket list, my lifelong bucket list is filling up, is almost full, right? There's not much. In fact, I haven't looked at it for many, many months. I don't even know what's left on it. So there's a few things on there that I'm not going to ever be able to do, like attend a bullfight, things like that. Especially not here. Although here they have cockfighting, don't they? Yeah. Just change the word, bull to cockfight. That'd be cool. Would you like to go see a traditional Thai cockfighting? It's not for everyone. It can get pretty violent apparently. And I'd have to check on where I could get and see that, because that's not something that's a touristy thing. But we could check that out. Yeah, I'll find out about that. I have seen them myself, but never videoed it. So I don't know how YouTube will go videoing that. Okay? We'll see. Okay, alright, well, here he goes. We'll wait till he goes past. Yeah, look, it was just that same van. He's selling, looks like eggs. There's eggs. Small bird eggs. They weren't chicken eggs. They were some little brown spotted eggs. Quails, maybe? I don't know. This is Thailand, as they say. All right, thanks guys. Keep an eye for my video coming out in the next 24 hours from now. And I'll see you in next week's live stream on the weekend from who knows where. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. All right? Okay. Bye.